Hello, everyone! Why do we even
Simplifying
have
things
that
are better.
button? Oh god. Apparently... They have changed how Google Chrome works again, and muting it in your incognito tab doesn't mute it in your regular tabs anymore on Twitch again. Anyway, hello, hi, we're back. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday evening here. Catching up, episode 93. Almost in the triple digits.
Shenanigans.
I don't want to play this game anymore. Then
100
it's
now.
a lot of episodes.
100
100 and I'm out, bro.
100 now. Okay. Hit the century mark and then dip. Yeah, I don't know how, like, before I get into the plot synopsis for the last time, I don't know how, like, I think, like, Winds of Chaos is at, like, 211 episodes, and I'm like, how?
Because they level up, like, once every 6 months.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I was talking to Ghost about this a hot second ago, and he was like, yeah, I wanted to have them level up at the end of the arc, and they finished the arc, and I remembered to level them up, like, 3 months later. Like, I would die.
Different groups are different.
Yeah, it's true.
I have a kitty update.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, couldn't find Highway at all in all her hiding spots.
Yeah.
She ended up under the blankets on the bed.
Oh.
Hiding there.
Aw, poor Highway.
Aww.
Yeah, we have a new pet on stream. I'm sure we'll see them at some point.
At some point.
You don't need to
I don't know
grab
where
them
she
now.
went right now.
But last week, you all explored Duer-duar. Grabbed some conspicuous vials of liquid. They could do some pretty dangerous things. Fought an archdevil. Brought Farzu back as you cleaned up the devils or corrupted creatures that had come through somehow into the city. And as he was resurrected and planetary form was dropped, that is where we left off. So, what would you all like to do?
Did this devil leave anything behind?
No. It did not. Basically... Oh, I have that tab muted, sorry. It basically just fell into a pool of blood and disappeared. Like...
No. Do we have a way to get out of here? I think most of us have seen better days.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna need a couple days before we go. How long? Above game? How long till that show ding hinger thing meeting?
Above game, 5 days.
5 days.
Oh, I thought it
We
was like
just-
2.
No.
Because didn't we already take like a 4-day rest, like in the middle of this
yeah,
week?
you did. It was
like this
9.
week
It was like
long?
9 days away. Sorry, hold up. Let me math. I might have mathed wrong because I did this earlier today.
Because we were talking about it at the end of session, and it was like, oh, maybe we can get like Farzu 2 days of rest,
Yeah.
and then you'll only be mildly inconvenienced or something. But...
1. Yeah, you guys do only have 2 days left. I didn't. Yeah. You guys only have 2 days left. Sorry, I mathed wrong earlier.
Okay.
So either way, I'm gonna be rolling minuses.
Oh. Yeah. So I think we were saying at the end of last session, it's like just focus on stuff that makes them make saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 1 cubic gate. And get us out.
And
But
then
that goes against-
I can maybe try to bless you. So like you'd have a penalty on your saving throws, but I could like let you add a D4 to your saving throws, so maybe it would be about even. But we can figure it out.
If I remember correctly, you said that would affect my summons.
Yeah.
For their
because
rolls?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it uses your spell save, your spell attack roll, so it would be also made with a penalty.
Okay. I have a lot of things I can do with just saves.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. But
Yeah, that's why we play.
yeah, that is. In game. In game now. Do you guys mind if we check out the library here for a day at least?
I'd certainly wouldn't say no to visiting a library. I'm also still curious if we could find any lab notes for that thing we fought earlier. But
Fair.
also, since we're not feeling so great, there are safer places to sleep at least.
Fair certainly wouldn't say no to a library, and I certainly wouldn't say yes. Emrys, I imagine the tiebreaker is down to you.
Well, I wouldn't say no or yes. I think it's what makes the most sense. Break in some research.
We could try to find some place with books, take a whole bunch of them back with us to the mansion.
Yes.
And if Farzu needs a day or two to sleep off his brush with mortality again,
We
could
could
pass
even
the time reading.
Or we can even put the mansion up, like, right next to the library if we want.
We could do it in the library if we want.
I mean,
Sure.
I don't think there's anyone else around. I didn't see anybody.
Have we heard any noise like other, like, ungodly horror mechs marching around, or
Not
any
current-
other signs
not
of
cur-
fighting?
Not currently.
Let me check one of my 10 billion spells.
But I do think looting the place, taking the books we want, and getting out of here might be the smartest idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Suppose there could always be more of those invisible bastards. That rather hurt last time.
Plus, at least two of us do rather enjoy sunshine.
Yeah. Kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Don't hate it as much as I used to. Thanks, Dietrich.
I certainly don't blame you. It's your culture.
Well, my eyes just genuinely disagree with sunlight. have we? I assume, like, since we're in the center of the city now, which is like the most, this is where like the castle is and all that good stuff. That
Yeah.
there's probably a library. Like, if we're going to find a fancy magical library, it's going to be in here,
Yes.
in this section, right?
Yes.
And how big is this sort of area of the city?
The inner couple circles where you guys are
Mm-hmm.
is I'm trying to think of how to scale it to something like Merriman. Is probably like the eye down into the Underdark is probably like that size, but like 1.5 of those. So it's big, but like not very big for a city center.
Okay.
Can I get Nibbles to look around as well?
Okay.
As we're looking for the library, I'll get him going where we're not.
Well, here I can actually switch out. I can switch one of my spells and prepare locate object.
Locate librarian?
No, object. But
Oh,
if we think of, so I could locate the nearest book, which might not be helpful, but I don't know if we could come up with something better.
Locate the nearest one of those drawers with the index cards in them, whatever you call that in library land.
Card catalog.
oh yeah,
Sure.
that might work.
I think Dietrich genuinely doesn't know what it's called, but he's seen one or two.
He probably has been forced in a library with school.
Bold of you to assume I was paying attention, Farzu.
They didn't make you stay
Don't
after and
always.
sort one as punishment.
Goodness.
I
No,
volunteered for that one.
The punishment at the academy was mostly corporal. Joke's on them. I kind of liked it.
You would.
You sound way too excited at that.
Corporal punishment?
I already got a 2024 into 2014 spell confused, so that's great.
And so it begins.
So it begins. Because I
And
was
so
like,
it begins
oh yeah, I was
all
like,
the
and cast
fun.
Greater Restoration, that can remove the -1 penalty from Raised Dead. Oh right, that's a new interaction in 2024. Fuck.
Oh
Seriously?
no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it though. You deserve the penalty if you die.
Oh,
You made those choices.
well,
I have whiskey in my nose right
Technically.
now, and I hate you.
technically, that is one of the only ways to have interactions right now with my Patreon.
Honestly, like above game, if you're gonna give the party a magic staff that lets them cast Raise Dead whenever they want, it makes sense that you would still suffer some kind of consequence for
Oh, yeah.
dying. Otherwise,
Mhm.
like nothing matters.
It
in
would
there
be
in
what,
those
like
days.
Dragon Ball Z or some shit?
Yeah.
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 Or
Wait,
We
I
all-
can
we
have
all
balls
remember
within
Krillin
Dragon
dying
Balls
every
on the
4
top
months.
of it. Is the staff made of Dragon Balls?
No.
Oh,
I guess it could be.
petrified Dragon
We-
Balls?
We don't know where it's been.
Yeah.
Not those kinds of Dragon
Not
Balls.
those kind of Dragon Balls.
Damn it, Farzu.
Sorry, not sorry.
The ones from the new Namek, not the old Namek, though, please.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of something we could, like, Fair could use for the locate object that might lead us specifically to a library.
One of those ladders with wheels.
These are Duer-duar, they're short. Wouldn't, like, every house have one?
I don't know about the wheels.
Hmm. Oh, could you locate object for something, like, a book more than 200 years old?
That's actually a really, really good question, because I don't know what the conditions of locate object are. Let's look this up.
Oh, can it be a Pacific book?
So
It can be a
A
specific book.
It just says
Sorry.
a nearest object of a particular kind, unless you know what the name of the specific item is.
Yeah.
How about a library log? Library log book.
Oh, yeah, like for checking out.
Mm-hmm. Checkout book.
Yeah. One of
Checkout
those
log.
little date stamp things.
I mean, are you gonna cast locate object on it? On that?
I mean, if I want to make sure I've got something that sounds like it'll work.
A laminated book.
Fantasy
She's looking for
lamination.
librarian glasses.
Fantasy
There
lamination.
is.
Do you buy lamination equipment at Fantasy Costco?
Probably.
You can.
Yeah.
Are there any like particular tomes of magic that I know, like, or histories maybe that like
Mm-hmm.
the Duer-duar, like, you know, they have one in every library kind of thing, like the Oxford English Dictionary, except it's like the Oxford Duer-duar Dictionary.
So, like, the Duer-duar have been very, very isolated for a really long time, so I'd say probably not.
Okay.
I guess we'll just keep looking.
I'd say if you
Yeah.
figured out, like, I don't know, I think if you figured out an item that would be found in a library, it would probably be your best bet.
Okay. I don't know. Are the little date stamps a thing in this universe?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
They have to have some system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll cast locate object and try and find the nearest date stamp.
Okay. Luckily, this ring of the city, the center two rings, aren't super hard to walk around. So you don't
Mhm.
immediately detect it. But as you walk around the circle, probably within like 200 feet, you detect that you're within 1,000 feet of that object.
Okay. Start leading everyone in that direction.
Still no sign of life.
Or undeath.
No
Yeah.
sign of undead or dead bodies. Make a perception check.
Is this site-based?
As far as we've never seen
20
anything.
Yes,
27.
27.
Perception. 25.
Okay.
30.
Parzi, what did you get?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what's
Farsi
blind,
doesn't
he
see
said.
shit.
Yeah, he's blind.
Oh, passive is 11.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's still. Everybody except Farzu, once again, Unfortunately. As you guys are walking and following the path to the library, you see more of the mutated Varrocs like hanging upside down off of their tentacles from like the ceiling in like pods, like bats. But that's like the only life, and then occasionally you see one like fly, and that's like the only. They seem to be leaving you alone now, but like that is like the only life you see.
Okay. Do we see actually any like portals or remnants of portals where they're still coming through?
No, not here.
Okay.
Would that be an object we could locate with a locate object? Would be the portal?
A portal? Yeah.
That would be
Probably.
something you could. You've described the equipment enough to Fair. It would be
Yeah.
located. Yeah, probably in
I
like
think library first.
probably about like 20 minutes you'd locate the library.
Okay.
It's about 1,400
Cool.
feet from where you were.
All right. Well, then, shall we see if we can find any portal making gear? Take care of that. Now that we know where we'd like to stay, or come back to at least.
Around what time is it?
Or like mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Okay, so we got time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and as far as you'll be able to help us find our way back here now that we know where
Oh.
it is.
Most definitely.
All right. And then, sure,
Cool.
I will cast another locate object from here to find portal equipment.
Okay. You detect. Kind of walk back around the ring a little bit, and you get a ping, probably 150 feet. It looks to be from like the actual center of town, where like the military barracks, the headquarters is, and the castle and everything, and that is the direction it pings you in.
Mm-hmm.
And as you follow the ping down kind of like the last path between the second most outer ring and like the inner ring where the actual center of town is, as you go through that cut through, you have to start stepping over bodies because of just the sheer amount of them. And it is no longer just Duer-duar. Some with the mithril veins, still some without. There are mutated creatures, devils, demons, like Laprazu, imps. Dwarves and humans that look extremely similar to like the ones you fought, where like somebody like you can see like a Duer-duar axe like hit them in the neck, and then like a tentacle or like a second mutated head came out and is biting on and holding on to something here in death as you kind of walk over these corpses. And down through essentially like a barracks. The staircase drops down into the barracks. Part of it is underground. And in kind of like this big war room, three of you recognize this structure. Although it, albeit smaller, Fair, you would recognize this from the descriptions they've told you over the time. This is like one of the portal devices. It looks to be on and activated, but there is no open portal like you guys saw.
Oh, okay. So it's closed at the moment.
But the mithril is lit up. The core that they've used to power it is spinning like the one you saw and lit up. But there's no current like portal coming through.
Hmm. Is there any sign of activity around?
Can you refine that?
Um,
Are we talking like fresher bodies? Are we talking footsteps in the blood?
fresher bodies. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there seems to be fresher bodies here, mostly the smaller demons and devils.
As
So, in other words, the spell or whatever it is working, but something is blocking interplanar travel.
or the thing is on, it's just not tuned to a station.
As you guys are having these thoughts, you hear kind of like a, I would say, above game in IRL, like a mechanical buzzing, like static for a second, and then you see like the portal just like a flash of light, like in the device where the portal would be, flash of light and like a rock fly through, and then it's gone again.
If we get closer, do they get agitated?
Oh, that flew like over your heads and out of the room.
Okay, so it's not like there's a bunch of rocks like hanging from the ceiling here or anything.
No.
Okay.
Probably tuned to the 9 hells and
Whichever one are.
only opens and closes for who it wants to. We might be better off finding our own way back. We have the means.
Are you suggesting we go to the 9 hells now?
No, of course not. Saying, why do we have to use this thing to get back? We have our own way of teleporting around.
I'm still interested to know more about how this thing works.
And do we want to leave this one open?
Almost certainly not.
The last one we came across was not a good thing. We
Well, I
haven't
mean-
found the main demon here, have we?
Yeah, you did.
What was
That's
his
what
name?
we just did last
we
week.
did?
Yep.
Okay.
Fair will sort of cautiously approach the portal device and just start examining it. Cast Detect Magic, try and figure out what makes it tick.
It would light up like a Christmas tree. Almost blinding.
A Lolth mystery.
Yeah, a Wolfmas tree. I'm making that canon next campaign. And after your eyes kind of adjust for that second, you can see that there is magic inside the mithril field box that they've created. And you can kind of see like waves of magic coming through. Like the portal's active, but you get the idea in this instance, because you're really good at Arcana at this point.
Yeah.
The portal is at this point stable and is proximity based.
Okay. So it's like it's like one of those doors at it's like the door at the supermarket.
Yeah. And it's like a stable field. They basically used the mithril to increase the intensity of basically plane shift. And are using this energy core to keep the spell going, so you can't have spellcasters there all the time, and the mithril field to stop it from expanding.
Okay.
And basically engulfing whatever area they use it in. It's, for you, this is like genius level design work.
Oh yeah. Fair is geeky out more than a little bit.
Is
And
it similar to the one that we saw first mission of the campaign?
Yes. Smaller and more well designed.
Not
The
as
last time we saw one of these, it was much bigger and clunkier. And we were able to destroy it by pretty much just wailing on it, taking it apart.
I'd like to learn what I can from this, but I do agree it should be destroyed. Certainly turned off. But do you mind if I take an hour or so to take notes? Maybe even see where to wail on it to hurt it the most? Or perhaps where not to?
Of course, I could use a load off. Anyway, just let me know if I can help with anything.
Farzu is probably pointing out the difference between the two portals.
Yeah, I would say like a above game to like give some context to what this looks like. Like the version you saw early in the campaign was probably like this like V2, and this is like like they've made like 5 or 6 iterations of this device. Maybe not have tested all of them, but this is like the 5th or 6th iteration beyond what you saw last time in terms of differences.
Yeah. We saw basically a Model T, and this is like a 1990s BMW or something like that. It's like, oh, it's the same thing, sort of.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
saw Model T, and now it's like a '69 Mustang.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly those vibes. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Fair would like to take some time to take notes, document, try to learn everything they can.
Okay.
I would like to take that time to short rest.
Great. Make a Arcana check and a General Intelligence check.
Okay. I guess first I will use my
Can I
second
assist?
wind.
Yes. So you'd have advantage on both of those.
Okay, hang on, let me just use my second wind for the moment. And then, so I have, you said Arcana, and then General Intelligence.
With advantage both as far as this is
On both of them.
Yep.
Alright, so Arcana, that is, oops, not great. It's only a 27. And then General Intelligence is also not great, a 16.
Okay.
I'm also gonna second wind after the short rest because I don't want to spend any more hit dice today.
Okay.
Because I've already spent today.
Jeez.
So
Yeah, we got pretty messed up.
Only getting 9 back.
Okay.
Okay, gonna heal 8.
You have a pretty good idea of how the machines and the spells function to make this work.
Mhm.
I would say you'd probably need to refine like your notes if you wanted to like replicate this for any reason. But in order to explain this to people, your notes and your knowledge of it is pretty solid on those 2 rolls.
Okay. Cool.
And from the original one that we destroyed, are we able to surmise how best to destroy this one?
Okay. That would be the interesting thing. Farzu, make an Arcana check for me. would say because you and Fair are working on this together during the short rest, and you've taken an hour, you can roll at advantage too. Here.
Yep, fair would help, so.
Yeah. Plus, you guys said you were taking an hour, so that kind of goes into it.
It would be a 25.
25.
Not that great.
You are staring at this thing and helping Fair take their notes and refining the machine on the machine and things. You kind of have the startling realization and the terrible realization that if you were to destroy this machine without a lot of high-level dispelling magic, it would engulf kind of everything in the plane shift spell, expand out, and then, like, contract instantly.
Okay.
What is it, Barzu? You look concerned.
We can't destroy this. It will.
Not with that attitude.
It would destroy so much.
How much?
A lot. More than Drexel.
Above game, how much?
Above game, you're looking at, like, everything within a 300-foot radius would be plane shifted. And then
Cool.
beyond that, for, like, another 300-foot radius would do force damage when it collapsed.
So... do we have access to timed explosives? Like, could we get the rope trick and the plane shift and whatnot ready, set a bunch of explosives, and put the timer on, like, 2 minutes or something like that? Plenty of time to get out of there, be halfway across the world.
You would know that time-delayed fuses and things exist as a pirate. You would know that.
Would I know how to make something like that? Probably not.
I'm gonna say make your favorite kind of roll. Make an intelligence roll for me.
That's a dirty 1.
Hell yeah!
Natural
yeah.
2.
Fuck yeah! You've seen people.
But I know it's a
make it.
thing.
You've seen people
Yeah.
make it, but for the life of you, you have no idea where to start.
If we could just place explosives down and put them on a timer so they explode in a couple of minutes or something, that gives us plenty of time to plane shift out of here and be back at Emerson's mansion.
Could work. Or is there a way we can at least just turn it off? Like, can Fair figure out what it would take to safely power it down?
Yeah, I think
Pop out the batteries.
I think as part of, like, this hour-long conversation, within taking the core out, as soon as that happens, within 2 rounds, you would need somewhere between 6 and 9 dispel magics at 7th level or higher.
Okay, so
Or it blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you need to dispel the entire field, essentially.
okay.
But also, even if there were a convenient way to turn it off, there would probably be an equally convenient way to turn it back on.
True. I was sort of hoping we might at least be able to pop the batteries out.
Are there any towns within a 600?
Well, just this city.
Just this city?
It would just be like the first 4 rings of this town.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be even more.
No.
Fair, Farzu, do either of you have any idea how we might go about making an explosive timer? I might have a
Farzu worked
watch,
in a
but
mine. Would Farzu know? Being from Drexel?
So this is gonna sound really crazy. Can I have Emrys and Farzu make intelligence checks?
That's just plus or
Just plus your intelligence mod, yeah.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
19.
19. Yeah, you would know how to make delayed blast fuses, and Emrys, you would have some idea of how they worked too, because you guys did make fireworks for like celebrations and things. So you know how to make delayed timers. Is that
Did you
Chloe?
see that?
Yes,
What
I
was
did.
that?
What the fuck?
That was Chloe.
What?
I missed
Yeah.
it.
The cat.
Oh.
The
she
cat
is
got to him.
doing battle with Vecna right now.
Aw.
Hold on. I'm
It's
gonna
something just
Just
flew.
came like skidding across the house behind me.
Well, something flew behind you.
Yeah,
Something
that was a cat
orange.
toy.
Yeah. That was crazy. Jess is gonna try to.
It's
flip it.
CHLOE, right?
That's not the tail end.
KHLOE.
KHLOE. Okay, cool. I don't remember. Sorry.
She's named after Chloe Aliapo from FF14.
Oh, okay.
Wondrous Tales NPC. Actually, I think my Chloe is now older than in-game Chloe.
Cool. Grabbed it. I got
You
it.
got it?
You just see the point.
I got it too.
Yeah, you guys
Cat.
would know that you need material that burns slowly, like tallow or beeswax, but you can coat fuses in it to delay it and make delayed blast explosive so it burns, but like way slower.
Sorry, I just saw it. Thank you for clipping it.
You're welcome. That's 1,000%.
That's
That's
hilarious.
1,000% going on the TikTok account tonight.
Yeah, Jessa got one too.
Nice. Thank you, Jessa. Yeah.
93 episodes, and the most exciting part I can contribute is my cat.
So far. Yeah. Do you guys know how to do it?
Alternatively, what if I were to do some stone to mud and then mud back to stone?
Sinking it
Hmm.
and encasing it.
I think we've spent the last week or so experiencing the full power of what the fiends of the Nine Hells have to offer. Do you think encasing a portal in stone is going to stop them for long?
Would destroying it stop them from long as well, though?
Well, destroy it, they need to at least build a new one.
Looking at
I-
it, how rare is the material that they've used?
90% of the construction is mythical. It is incredibly expensive to build one of these.
Okay, so destroying it is probably going to be the best way.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we think explosives would do enough damage? Could we figure out the best place for the explosives
Yeah.
to do the best damage?
There's weak points. Attack the weak point for massive damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a walk and look for some black powder. I think I probably saw an armory in town somewhere.
Some tallow would be
This
great
seems-
too.
This seems like the kind of place that would have armories.
Or
Right.
beeswax.
And if nothing else,
Barrels
they
of
would probably use
explosives.
it for mining too.
Yeah.
I still want to check out the library first before we go
Well,
boom.
we could grab a bunch of books while the explosives are being prepared. Emrys, would you need help building your portal destroying fireworks?
Oh, I think I can figure it out if he makes the boom and we find a
Fireworks.
little tallow. I can make it take a while, but someone else has to make the fire.
Yeah, you guys don't have gunpowder.
I'm
That's the problem.
no explosive builder.
Well, the experience I have with black powder is mostly that one
No.
time in Karuri Bay. But that was somebody else's black powder. But I'll see if I can find some.
All right.
Guessing they have something around here.
So Rai, I actually have a above game.
Yeah, I'm saying one thing in game, and then we'll get to that. As you guys are kind of having this conversation, finishing up the hour, like you now see like a couple like I forgot what their names are, like imps come through, but like they're engaged in combat, like an air duel with like quasits, which I think Farzu and Fair would know are demons, not devils. And they kind of like are stabbing each other and kind of like kill each other and like fall out of midair, like probably like 50 feet after they've come through the portal.
Oh, good. That looks like a tiny bit of blood war coming through into our plane. And speaking of tiny,
Hey, it's here. Hold up, I was ready. I was ready for this. 1 second. Kitten.
yeah.
Yeah, they're getting the full screen treatment for a second.
Yeah.
Hey, I know what
As the
Aw.
cat's head
I know what the
disappears.
people want. As the cat's head disappears, I know what the people want.
I love how she's still at the stage where like her ears are too big for her head.
Yeah. Yeah, kitty.
Oh, hey. Rude, Katie. Some of us never grow out of that stage.
Yeah. Kitty. Okay.
Aw.
Kitten time over. Kitten time is never over. They're here with us always, and they're adorable. I like how I messaged KD. Frodo has their new kitten in Discord like 15 minutes later. It's like, where?
Cat, I must see.
They were so cute last night. They were just literally sitting there licking your arm for like an hour.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing. Anyways.
Yeah. She
Anyways.
really does like to lick. I think nibbles works.
Yeah, so what was your above game question, Ang?
So per se, if an earthquake were to happen and it just so happened to fall into a chasm, that would destroy it, right?
Yeah.
We don't really need explosive.
No.
I mean,
Explosives are fun.
so say we do turn the machine off. Would that per se stop it from exploding when we destroyed it?
No,
I think
if we turn
turning
it off.
the machine off is what makes it explode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
More than just taking the batteries out, the whole spell has to
Yeah.
be unwoven.
And
Which I think
I
would take even a couple mages.
yeah.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
just make an earthquake happen below it then, if we really didn't want to build anything today.
Problem is when it explodes everything, or like it will suck everything within hundreds of feet into the nine hells.
Or wherever the portal goes.
or wherever it goes. Like, if like we need to like destroy it, but we need to not be here when it's destroyed. Which is why I thought of the timer. But
Sounds
if
like
you have another
probably
way,
the best bet.
if you have another way to do that, then
Mhm. Or if we want to create some sort of chasm to dump it down
Well,
and use the timed explosives there so it explodes a few hundred feet lower. And
Well,
the hells
see-
would get more stone than anything else.
we'll see if I started an earthquake, we would have a little bit of time to go through the portal before any fissures and things started to happen.
Oh, we're not going through that.
Not that portal, but our little portal that we made.
Oh, just start the earthquake and run through that. I suppose that could work.
It's just
I
an
mean-
option.
yeah, I don't see why we would risk that when we could just set a timer. Set a timer for 5 minutes and we'll be well clear.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't
Just give ourselves more time.
see why we need to, make a mad dash and be all heroic about it.
Because someone can always stop a time.
You're not wrong about that. There do seem to be creatures coming through here fairly frequently.
Is there any sort of like regularity with which they're coming through? Like one every
No.
like 2 minutes or something? Oh, okay.
No. It's fairly irregular.
Okay.
Kind of like whenever one of these dumb things gets too close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Goes through.
And there's a concerningly high density of dumb things.
Yeah. Between low-level devils and demons, yeah, there's a lot of dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think I like the idea of the explosives better to give us at least a little more time to run away. Perhaps we can do like we did in Draxel and set them up to collapse the roof in on this thing rather than on the device itself. Destroy it that way.
Okay.
Were their armories reasonably close to the library?
Yeah. It's like 5 minutes away.
Okay, so we could go like Farzu and I could go raid the library, and Dietrich could raid the armory.
Yep. It's
And we'd be at
armor's
least
upstairs,
within
basically.
dimension door distance of each other, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Before we do split up, Farzu will
Take 10 minutes
Ritual
and cast telepathic bond.
Telepathic bond.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Farzu has learned.
Dietrich, make a investigation check for me.
Just passive 15.
Passive 15. It takes you a little bit upstairs in the armory to find it, but you find mining equipment, and that leads to a gunpowder room where they have packed dynamite sticks. And the fuses so that you guys can coat them and stuff. I also think between probably at the library itself, because they use split oil lanterns and candles here, it wouldn't be too hard to find enough candle wax to coat the fuses and make them delayed. Ether.
Cool.
Alright. So it'll probably take you like 20, 25 minutes to get everything together. And all the explosives. I assume you're just going to take them downstairs instead of with you guys to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Farzu
just start setting them up around the portal.
Okay.
at the same time, we'll be going through the library, I think, to save time. Just grabbing whatever looks interesting.
Cool.
Going directly to the forbidden collections and the special collections.
Yes.
If it's locked, that's
gonna
the
get
good
in there.
shit.
Alright.
Detect magic in there.
Let's take our break early so I can pull up the library stuff. And we'll
Okay.
back. welcome back.
Oh,
Make are you an investigation check.
Who?
The two people in the library.
Library.
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Passive 33.
Not that good.
What'd you get?
I got a nat 20 for a 25.
25, okay. What you guys both knocked out. What particular books are you looking? History, magic.
You know what I'm looking for.
Yes.
Uh,
You're looking for books on deities.
Mm-hmm.
Books on magic. Any
History
books
would be good too.
about mithril, maybe, in arcade applications, and anything in go through the special collections.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think depending on how much is in special collections, and also if it looks like there was something that had been checked out a lot recently.
Yeah, so just to position, Dwarven tomes are in Duer-duar tomes by equality are big. Like they're like the Dwarven books from like Lord of the Rings. Like they're big stone covers, intricately carved, huge pages with the Dwarven lettering on them. Yeah, so as you're going through the regular library section, I would say there is a book on the gods of the dwarves and the Duer-duar. There's
Okay.
also a book on the schism between the dwarves and the Duer-duar.
Ooh. That might be interesting.
And while not related to, on the surface, the magic of it, there are books on mining and applications of mithril.
Okay. I'll take that. Any other arcane tomes?
No, they don't super practice magic publicly.
Okay.
Like, their casters are kind of, God, this is very, very specific reference. Think of it like warlocks for the orcs in WoW. They're very, like, in their own area, separate, kind of, from everything.
Shun.
Yeah. Not necessarily shunned, just away from the away from public eye and the populace. There is a locked section that you all find that has 12 tomes in it. One is the royal lineage of the Duer-duar. There is a book on the magical properties of metal. Any other fitting your criteria? I think those are the only two that would kind of fit that.
I don't know, anything in particular just sound interesting? Like, I think Fair would at least skim over the titles of them all.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. There is a tome on the devastation that I think would interest you.
Sure, yeah.
and also the First Dwarven Civil War. I think that might interest Farzu.
Oh yes.
All into the bag of holding.
Yes.
Mm.
And then I think the last tome in there would be a book on large-scale magics.
Mm.
Oh, heck yes.
Is there a filing cabinet in the locked area? What could be like a filing cabinet?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Any loose papers?
No, this
Maybe
is it's very well kept.
hitting. Okay. Because Farzu did not find the book that he is looking for.
Yeah, so like in this locked area, there's like a place where there's like a stone reading tablet where you can like put the book and read it, but you can't basically take it beyond the locked thing. Yeah, you get the idea like maybe not part of the Dwarven Pantheon. It's not really common.
Could possibly find something that might point Farzu in the right direction.
Make another investigation check.
What is it you're looking for in particular, Farzu? Can I help you look for it?
21.
Okay.
Farzu's going to be a little. He's not going to really say too much. He'll be just like, oh, just a book on some thing. Research for my Patreon.
All right, well, I think I'm about done if you want me to help you look, and if not, that's fine too.
Oh. I don't think I'm going to be able to find much here. I don't think they really did much for or with the Raven Queen. He's also saying this as he's still looking. Like he's not actually fully paying attention to what he's saying.
Yeah, you. It's actually a really good question. Going back through the library a second time, you do find a book on just the overall pantheon. This tome is way older, though. Like, you find it on, like, a far back shelf.
And what language is it in?
Dwarvish, like all of these.
Dwarvish?
Yep.
Oh. Tongues doesn't allow me to read it.
No, it's comprehend languages?
Don't think that's a spell I have. Nope, that's a spell that Farzu needs to get.
Okay.
Or you can borrow Dietrich's hat.
I always forget you have the hat until you use it.
Fair has the spell in their spell book.
Yeah. Okay. There are ways.
And they can
Yes.
ritual cast it, but only on themselves, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool if you could ritual cast it on, or cast it onto others. Because tongues you can cast on anyone.
Yeah, comprehend languages just says self.
Hmm.
If you could put comprehend languages on another creature, you wouldn't need tongues for anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's valid.
So, but with Farzu not really being able to understand the language, he could guess as much that this would be have information.
Yeah. You know,
It's
you
like
know,
that
you know
dra-
how to comprehend languages, yeah.
It's like that Dragonology book with like all the really pretty pictures and pop-up shit, and it's just written in Dwarvish.
Yeah. Yep, he's gonna attempt to read it as he walks.
Okay. Not a great idea. It's really heavy.
Yeah, Fair has stuffed all of their books in the.
It's an incredibly
Backpack.
heavy book in a language you don't understand, and you're going to try to read while walking? Like, you
Maybe
can
he's a
just wait.
kinetic. Maybe he's a kinetic learner, man. Don't tell Yuck is young.
You can just wait.
He also fixates on books.
Yeah, that's true.
The other day, I saw a wino eating grapes, and I was like, dude, you gotta wait.
Oh my god.
As they're walking back, Fair will just sort of conjure a
what-
dancing light and just
who
sort
was
of weave
that?
it at the corner of
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg, yeah. That's who I thought it was, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
sort
like,
of weave that at the edge of Farzu's vision to sort of like, don't forget, we're going this way.
yeah. Um,
Don't fall in an open manhole.
somebody that I met through buying and selling baseball cards, opened for him like 3 days before he died.
Damn.
Yeah, like it's one of the last known photos of him is from that show. Very, very funny guy. Yeah, it's not. You gotta wait for Farzu a little bit, but like it's not.
Well, it will only be like halfway.
He's
then
not.
He's just
Yeah.
he gets not really fully frustrated that he can't read it, but basically makes a mental note. Needs to learn more languages,
Yeah.
or at least the spell eventually.
Ask me for the helm.
He is. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
I've
ask
got
Fair
an
for the
idea
spell.
for that. Oh yeah.
Uh,
The helm is faster though,
Yeah.
and
Rice
cheaper at
is-
the moment.
Rice is great when you're hungry and you want to eat 2,000 something. Okay. Yeah, you guys reconvene after like an hour. Explosives place. I imagine Emrys is working on the fuses.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'd have to wait till we got back with the candles, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, listen, Emrys wanted to come with us to the library and he could take the candles back and get
Right.
started while we're geeking out over books.
Yeah, I assume I would have done that knowing that that's what they were gonna find.
Knowing
Yeah.
what happens when Farzu and Fair walk into a library.
Right.
That apparently
And
there's
Dietrich will
no
just
live
be-
people around.
Walking back and forth, setting up gunpowder.
Okay.
Basically, just putting it where Emrys tells him to.
I am gonna warn Dietrich that they might be a while. They found they were digging through stuff basically. I don't know what for, but
For knowledge, what else?
Knowledge is great.
I think this is more appropriate. You can both of you make a wisdom check. Dietrich and Emrys.
Oh, okay. Just
Straight wisdom.
D20 plus wisdom.
D20 plus
Great.
wisdom.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Natural 2 for a 4.
Okay.
Out of luck points. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just doing what Emrys tells me to do.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it works. Makes a
Um,
big boom.
Yeah, you are not super confident in your placement of the explosives. Emrys kind of repositions them a little bit, make sure the fuses are long enough. Kind of you follow him and he tells you like where to tie them off and how to get this long enough. You guys feel pretty okay after about an hour with the setup that you all have. Yeah.
So how long do we set the timer for?
Oh, we just light the fuse and go, and it'll take enough time. No time. We just have to hope no one comes and stomps on it or anything.
That's kind of what I'm asking. What's the shortest time you think we could get away with?
You could open a gate for us first, and then we just light it and jump through, right?
Yeah.
I thought we were doing the rope trick thing.
Oh. Open the rope trick first. And...
Well, how? We're in the deep dark, right?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. So we would have to.
rope trick and then go, then
Rope
plane
trick,
shift
then
from there. But
plane shift.
well, once we rope trick, we're good.
Yeah. Because the damage can't pass through the rope trick, right?
Correct. It's the demi-plane.
Cool.
Yeah.
So open the demi plane,
Uh,
and then I guess last person through can throw the match.
Now that she's going full wizard, I really want Demi to eventually learn Demi-plane. On Monday.
Oh my god, yes.
oh.
Has to happen.
Has to happen.
Any plane she creates is a demi plane.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah, when we get there, Farzu will immediately cast rope trick.
Say their name and they appear.
Oh my. That's great.
Where is Joe Hendry?
I believe in Joe Hendry. Yeah, I would say because of how many explosives you have to have on the device, confidently, like a minute before the first explosive goes off, so that they kind of all go off similar, like at the same time, would probably be like the minimum you could set this to.
And then what time do we start the last movement of the 1812 overture?
Like 36 seconds left? Or 18 seconds left. You're muted. We can't hear you. Uh-oh. Nope.
Nope.
I really need to make a technical difficulties button. Anyway.
Sorry about that.
Yep, we can
Discord
hear you
lost their
now.
headset. Yeah.
All right. I have no idea what happened.
Discord lost your headset. It's been happening more and more.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
No, last movement of the 1812 is longer than you think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. You guys are gonna rope trick and light this candle? Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Very, very cool. How long would one of you stay down the rope after you lit it?
Why would we stay down the rope at all?
I was thinking of casting arcane
Oh, Arcane Eye
Eye.
to watch it? Okay.
Yeah, but I can't.
Ow.
I don't have a spell slot.
Be able to. Let me see if I have it prepared for today.
It's a 4th level, and I'm out of 4th.
Level.
Do you have
I-
5th, 6th, 7th, 8th?
I only have 1/7th.
So you could do
As-
it.
As long
Yeah.
as we're going back to Aang's mansion,
Yeah, that's the
then
plan.
I don't need
That
I
was the
don't need to
plan.
cast my mansion. Then yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Then I would
Yeah.
cast it.
Okay. So you're gonna have an
Unless-
Arcane Eye watching it. That's what
Yeah.
I was asking. Was basically was if
Yeah.
somebody was
Does
Oh,
Fair,
yeah.
does
Okay.
Fair have it or no?
I don't have it prepared for today, and I've already used up
Okay.
my ability to refigure my a divination spell in, so you'd
Okay,
have to do it.
then, Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll cast it at 7th level.
Extremely arcane eye.
Yeah, extremely Arcane Eye. Cool. Guys,
I don't think anything changes.
rope trick.
Something just exploded outside, like IRL.
Oh boy.
Cool. You can watch it from the demi-plane. 6 seconds left. Plane shift with the cube.
Yes.
And I'll pull through and take into the druids area and into, I guess, the living room of Amherst's home.
Open the gate so that the direction of the explosion would be behind us. So we like step out of the gate as it's exploding, even if it's like 100 miles away or whatever.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Exactly.
Someone will have to pull Farzu through the gate, though.
Oh. You want to keep watching?
Yes, Farzu is going to keep watching to make sure.
Well, the demi-plane
Goes
doesn't
off.
explode.
No, it doesn't. But, the Arcane Eye works at any distance.
Yeah.
So,
So, you're pulled through, because it's an action spell. It just grabs your shoulder and boom, you're out.
he's just going to watch the explosion, make sure it all went. Does that work across planes?
You'll be within 30 feet when you cast it.
Yeah. But if it gets because he said once the portal explodes, it's going to 300 feet go to the plane that it's
Yeah.
tethered to?
Yeah.
The arcane eye wouldn't.
The Arcane Eye wouldn't move. The Arcane Eye
Would it
doesn't go.
move?
No, it
Yeah.
stays.
Doesn't go with it? Okay.
Yeah.
But you would see everything else.
You see everything else kind of go like black and blue and then just rock.
Can Farzu draw a picture of the point of it imploding? Of that area imploding?
Yeah. Make a performance check.
Oh, cool. I have a plus 10 to
Sounds
that.
so bougie. We don't. As long as we have our other mansion, we don't need mine. Yeah, it's very bougie.
I got a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you can find some colored, like, chalk and do a pretty good, like, drawing of it.
Cool. Farzu is gonna show it to Fair because he thinks that they would be interested in what it looks like when it implodes.
Fair is completely fascinated and interrogates Farsu about every detail of what he saw.
Farzu will relay everything.
Yeah, I would say it looks. You've heard of magical singularities happening before.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, with some more mundane magic items like bags of holding.
Ah, yeah, one of those.
But for this and what Farzu drew, it is on a much larger. You can tell even from the drawing, it's on a much larger scale.
Mm-hmm. Exciting.
Yeah.
Hey,
You guys can spend like the next
Dietrich.
20 minutes talking about it.
Yeah, after all that, Farzu will go up to Dietrich. Hey, Dietrich,
Yeah.
would you mind if I borrowed your reading helm?
Oh, this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And he'll grab it and scurry away. Kind of like an excited scurry.
Don't know what that was about.
Oh, we found some interesting books at the library.
He'll pretty much put the helm on immediately as he scurries away to read that book.
I
It's
brought a-
way too big for you, but it eventually shrinks itself to your head.
I could just picture a little kid putting on their dad's helmet or like
Yeah.
football helmet or something, and it just shrinks.
Yep.
Oh, well, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, the
Oh.
cats.
Yeah, Highway just came into the office.
Yep.
I think after Farzu scurries away, Fair will be like, yeah, we found what looked like will be some interesting reading material in the library, fortunately. I would say light reading, but Dwarven and Duer-duar books or anything but light, and they take one of the, like, stone tomes out of the bag of holding to show him.
It is like the largest and heaviest book you've ever seen.
You can see, like, Fair's, like, weenie chicken wizard arm, like, shaking as they're holding it up.
Goodness. Well, good luck with that. Let me know if you need anything.
Oh, certainly. I imagine we'll be taking at least a day for Farzu to recover. And, well, in these nice environs, I don't need to spend all of the time reading.
I think it probably makes sense to head out in the morning. We've got 2 days to go, but I don't think we want to show up to this meeting.
Without the head of the fiend.
Well, I don't think we want to show up to this meeting having just been in a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Ah, true. Just in case it turns into another knockdown, drag-out fight.
Yes. So I think we do that tomorrow and try to stay there tomorrow night. And then the meeting is the day after that.
I think so.
And you did lose a couple hours from where you tell. So it's like 5-ish o'clock-ish now instead of 3.
Yeah, well, you and Farzu go put your noses in some books, and Emerus and I'll see what we can do about dinner.
Well, if you don't mind, could I just sit in the living room with you all? Farzu
Well-
went off on his own, but
Of
I
course.
have a feeling that he wants to read on his own.
You're both welcome to read wherever you like.
Fair. We'll start with the book on the on casting large scale magics.
Okay.
And I think while you're reading, you'll just hear Dietrich from like the other side of the room just say like, Emerus, these are all bullshit, but double check.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'll just go through it.
Yeah, one of them's actually for Dietrich about his boat's extended warranty that he missed.
Oh shit, this one's mine.
How did they find you here?
Magic. Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. That's a nat one.
Oh no, for what?
47.
7?
For 47. That's what I thought was about to happen.
No, if it's just intelligence, then it's a 7.
Yeah, it's, I cannot describe this any other way than like a calculus textbook,
Okay.
where it is just dense, theoretical magic formulas.
Could I actually try to assist?
Yeah, go for it.
How?
Well, let's see what I roll. Yeah, I rolled a natural 10 for a 9.
Okay.
But still higher than you got.
Shut up.
Dietrich, you think you're looking over their shoulder and think you actually understand how like half of one formula works.
Well, I think it would be more like, had I rolled high enough, I'm just like talking to Emrys about something on the other side of the room, and something I say jogs something in your memory.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
That like completely unintentionally.
Yeah, okay.
But alas.
Alas, for Yorick, I knew him well.
Mhm.
I knew him Horatio.
Yeah. That is-
I knew him well is not in
Yeah.
Hamlet.
Sorry.
Sorry.
One of my other favorite Hamlet facts is the Shakespeare Company actually has a real human skull that they use
Mm-hmm.
for that monologue, although most actors choose not to use it.
And the skull was donated
Yes.
by like an actor who like passed away and left his skull to the Royal Shakespeare Company for that express
Yes.
purpose,
Yep. And
That's
it was
badass.
not
which is
used.
the most metal
It
thing
was
I can
donated
imagine.
in like 1890s, I think. It's really
Yeah.
old. The first actor to use it in Hamlet was David Tennant in like 2004, 2005. Yeah.
Wow.
Since then, it has been used in almost every other actor has used it. Basically, once the curse was broken,
Oh.
I think every actor since then has used it. But yeah, it's just a really, really cool thing. And indeed, metal,
That's
but-
pretty much.
Yeah.
And extremely metal.
This book is going to take you longer to crack down on, and kind of
Mhm.
understand. But you kind of get even on that low roll, with how gifted at Arcana you are. You get the idea, like, this is kind of like the theoretical magic that led to what you saw,
Mhm.
but also was kind of like the theorem that was used to essentially cast a third of the globe-sized banishment spell on Odoron. Like, that's
Okay.
the type of large-scale magic we're talking about here. So it's
Okay.
very dense, very theoretical.
Could I tell about when it was written, at least?
I keep opening the wrong fucking tab.
I cast Carbon 14 date.
That should legit be a spell. Like,
Yeah.
there should
Yeah.
be a spell that tells you how old something is, and that's all it does. Be really cool.
Like Legend Lore, but cheaper.
Yeah. I'm putting that in my magic item book.
Yeah. Or at least like I don't know, previous versions of D&D had like appraisal as a skill you could take, and that would
Yeah.
be wrapped up in there.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, nope. It's like if you want to identify something, you either have the identify spell or you don't,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah. So this is with how delicate the pages are, this is entirely possible. This is just a well-kept pre-devastation book, or a book that has been recopied
Mhm.
probably only once since then.
This is what the devastation was. How many
1,000
thousand years ago?
1306 years ago.
Okay. So that might, something like that might still survive.
Especially like underground, well-kept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In...
I was thinking
If
it
they
was
had in
like,
their special collections too.
for some reason I had it in my head that it was like 10,000 years ago.
No, the
But
War of
no,
the Throne was 4,000 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to attempt any other books, or do you want to spend all your time this evening on this?
Like pick a different one after dinner, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, Fair will.
Okay.
I think they'll keep working on this one, actually.
Okay, cool. We'll come back to you after dinner. Farzi, what book are you picking up first?
The last one I found.
The pre-dev Pantheon?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an intelligence check, see how far you can get into it. Before your brain hurts.
That got all cock.
You gotta honor the cock.
Well, it's a nat 20 for a 25.
Hell yeah. This is a book in which you recognize a lot of the names and a lot of the Pantheon.
You gonna go?
And it's by domain. So you kind of know where to skip ahead for death. And there is just 22 blank pages.
Yeah, he's gonna flip the book. He's gonna be a bit frustrated.
You just hear from the other side of the house.
And then he'll grab the other one and do a bit of light reading.
Gods of the Dwarves and Duer-duar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it talks a lot about the god of the dwarves, Moradin. And their worship of him. And then talks about how they split, the dwarves and the Duer-duar kind of split after the War of the Throne, which led them to worshiping their own heroes. Take a point. And how they worship Ladalgar, who is like the dwarven god of crafting. And then they also worship and talk about some of the different houses that have worshipped different devils from the Nine Hells over the years. Or centuries, rather. Cool. Yeah, and then the I would say the entire second half is just on those devil packs. And different houses having different packs with different devils and stuff, and how it's led to conflict in, for lack of a better word, religious wars within the Duer-duar.
Okay. Probably after reading that one, he'll end up going to find the rest for dinner.
Okay. Cool. What are Dietrich and Emrys cooking up for dinner?
I think probably all vegetarian. I respect the local customs. Don't want to ruffle too many feathers by just roasting a pig in the front yard or anything like that.
Don't want to try and catch a pigeon and accidentally catch a druid.
Right?
Okay, yeah. You make dinner, call everybody down.
Oh. Have you learned anything interesting?
Just that book's going to be a lot to read.
I mean, I could have told you that. It was huge.
And dense even beyond the fact that the covers are made of stone.
Oof. I'm sorry. How about you, Farzu?
I learned some interesting things about the gods they worshipped. Well, that's about it. Not even touching the fact that he got annoyed and flipped a book.
Probably all would have heard that, right?
Yeah.
It sounded like you dropped a tome while you were up there, Farzu. Are you alright? Is the book alright?
I didn't even look.
Oh.
He'll say it like, oh.
I think Fair just sort of gets a vibe like they should just leave that one alone.
Well, I think I'll probably call it an early night.
Sounds good. I'll turn in with you if you don't mind and just read for a bit before I doze off. It's been a long day.
It certainly has been.
Do you want your helmet back, Dietrich?
No, you can hang on to it.
Okay. Let me know if you want it back.
As long as there are books to read, it's better in your hands than in mine.
Maybe we found one about pirating.
Well, why would I need a book about pirating?
Other techniques?
Do you think a pirate worth his salt would write that sort of thing down?
Not a smart one.
Our people are more of an oral tradition.
Hmm.
And that's just on the first date.
I think every single model remembers that commercial.
Yeah. Wouldn't steal a car.
Make it easy for me to access.
Hmm?
Then make it easy for me to access.
Randomly, when Farsi goes back towards that book, can you cast Detect Magic just in case something might have been magicked away? After he had some time to cool off?
Yeah. And you would detect magic on it.
Can I identify the magic?
Make an Arcana check.
Uh, 19.
This magic is beyond what you know is possible.
Okay. Do I know what it's doing now?
Something permanently, I would say, yeah, even on a 19, you wouldn't know how, and you wouldn't know what spell. Something permanently erased this information.
Can I cast Dispel Magic to bring it back?
Really cool. You can certainly try.
Okay. What would I have to roll?
DC, let's see, add your spellcasting.
Unfortunately, it would be at level 3.
Yeah. You would also be having a -4 to this, so you would basically be adding 1 to the roll.
Yeah.
And this magic...
But I'm gonna try.
This magic is above and beyond what is normally possible. So you would need something like a 25. Or 30.
Um. Oh. Um.
Like, you get the sense as you're kind of detecting magic and reading through it and thinking about dispelling it and stuff. This is magic that, like, a god would do.
Okay. Would far as you think Fair could get rid of the magic that erased it? Knowing they're better at it and doesn't have.
Currently a -4 to everything?
Yeah.
I would think at this moment you wouldn't, because you're trying to get more information. So I would think that you would knowing Farzu as a character, you would ask Fair for advice on this,
Yeah.
even if you think they may not be able to dispel it.
So, as far as you heard that Fair was going to read for their first 4, right?
I think so. You talked about that at dinner.
Yeah, they were going to turn in early with Dietrich, but then spend the first part of the night reading.
Okay, so I'd say probably an hour. It's going to take Farzia an hour to figure things out. You're going to hear a small tap on the on your door. Try not to wake Dietrich.
Fair just sort of stops reading and looks up and waits, like not really quite sure if they heard something.
After 2 seconds, you would hear another little tap, tap, tap.
Fair sort of, as gently as possible, puts the book down and tries to get up without waking Dietrich up.
Okay.
And gets decent and goes to open the door.
Cool.
Oh, Farzu, what's going on?
Would you possibly have a minute to talk?
Sure. And they'll step out and close the door behind them.
And he will he'll look kind of uneasy to ask, but also partially like really wanting to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Then it'll be like, so I found a book that's pretty old, a tome, while we were there, in the very back.
Oh, which one?
And he will tell you the name. I don't know
Interesting.
if we actually found out the exact name.
It's the Pantheon of the Mortal World is the title, but it's above game. It's a book on the pre-devastation Pantheon.
Yeah. And there's some pages I want to read, but they've been magically erased.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't think I could get rid of the magic to bring back the writing. And I was wondering on what your thoughts would be about it.
May I take a look?
He didn't bring it with him, but he'll lead you to where you'll see the book and you'll see how it's just on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are the pages paper or stone?
They are paper.
Paper.
Yeah.
So it will look a little messy because he flipped it
Mm-hmm.
and maybe knocked something over. So I'll just sheepishly point at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you said it's like a span of pages that's just erased.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I guess Fair will also cast Detect Magic and just sort of flip to see, like, what's the last thing before the erased part and the first thing when the writing comes back.
If you look at the directory, this should be the domain of death. And the god of the
Okay.
domain of death.
And is you said it's like 20 pages or something?
20. It's about 12 to 20 pages per god in this book. It's a pretty thick one. And so
Mhm.
yeah, there's 22 pages that are just completely blank.
Okay. So like more than average, a
Yeah.
longer section than average for this particular god, and also it's just been erased.
Yes. And you have Detect
Great.
Magic cast?
Yes.
You know exactly what spell did this.
Oh.
You have it in your Book of Vile Darkness. This is what happens when a god is replaced.
Oh. So, is it like, does Fair know it as like the new god would just like scour records of the old god from existence, or is it like a thing that happens naturally, like the words would just disappear
It
when
is
the
a
god goes away?
thing that happens when the ascension is complete.
Okay, so it's not even like someone did it on purpose. It's like this is a side effect of it occurring.
Yes.
Oh. Well, Farzu, I actually I do know what happened here.
Oh,
Um
are we able to get the writing back?
I don't think that's possible because the writing disappeared because the god it was about was replaced. They're
Oh,
unseated from their godhood and replaced by another deity.
yeah, that's
So-
interesting.
Whatever god of death was here from before the devastation and no longer holds that seat now.
Hmm.
Does Fair know? So the ritual of ascension, you said it actually does talk about the dead three.
Yeah.
And does it mention who they replaced? And has that information persisted?
That information of who they replaced has not persisted.
Okay.
Make a history check for me.
Okay.
Fun fact, there are 2 gods.
Would Farzu be able to assist in the history?
I would say no, because it's Elven history.
Okay.
Okay.
That's only a 19.
Okay.
That die is going back in the bag.
You don't remember when you read this or how long ago it happened,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a elf from basically parts unknown that amassed a following and completed the rites of ascension after the dead 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Their name and how they did it has kind of been lost. Their elven name has kind of been lost to time. I'd say even on a 19 you would remember. They're now referred to as the Raven Queen.
Oh.
So, on a 19, you would kind of imagine 22 pages is a pretty long entry in this book.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably a section that included both of the gods of death that had been replaced.
Okay. Actually, now that I think about it, Farzu, I believe there was someone else. The Dead Three are detailed alongside the rites in the book that I've collected, one we took from the Underdark.
Oh,
That contains their tale of the Rite of Ascension, Ball, Bane, and Miracle. But there are stories of another who, since that time, was able to amass a following and complete the rites as well. And they did indeed unseat another god and take their place. And that's the one we now know as the Raven Queen.
really?
So, I dare say that perhaps she is the one who erased what was here, not on purpose, but as an effect of simply what occurs when such a change happens.
Do you know where the Raven Queen hailed from before Ascension?
I can't recall. Not something I've ever read up on, and of course, books about anyone but Lolth are difficult to come by in the Underdark.
True.
But I suppose if you want more information about her, I don't know, perhaps Alarian would have something about her ascension, or we could check in Merriment next time we stop by either place. Or Ceres,
Yeah.
I suppose, will be down there, sort of near there. Not that distance is particularly a challenge to us.
Not anymore. Quite handy, actually. Well, thank you, Fair.
Sorry it wasn't the answer you wanted.
Well, that's alright. It's given me more research. And you know how I like my research.
Oh, I completely understand. Having a direction is reassuring, at least. More than simply a blank page. Well, thank you for giving me a little bit of a mystery to unravel. Have a good night, Farzu.
You too. And as
Fair.
you leave, if you look back, Farzi's probably like scribbling in a notebook furiously and trying to like crossing things out and typical researcher brainstorming.
Nerd behavior.
Mhm.
Yeah, fair. We'll quietly return to bed and keep reading their magical calculus.
Make another intelligence check for me while you're doing that.
Okay. There we go. That
You
is
say
a
fair?
22.
Hell yeah. First things first, you think you're gonna have to read through the Magical Metals book at some point sooner rather than later to really understand this book. But
Okay.
essentially what the dwarves and in turn the Duer-duar figured out was you can essentially exponentially increase spellcasting power using multiple spellcasters and materials that were designed to hold magic. To basically break through what you would know to be Mystra's barrier.
Okay.
That would allow things beyond, above game, beyond 9th level.
Mm-hmm.
Into the realm of mortals being able to do things that only gods should do. like, banish whole continents.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And it sounds like mithril is one of these materials that is frequently
Yes.
used.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll have to read the
Yep.
metallurgy book next.
Yeah.
Probably. Alright.
There's math in there on how to use mithril. There's math on there on how to use, like, gems and runes and adamantine and other things, but mithril is the strongest of them. It's also the rarest.
Cool.
Alright. As you all read your books into the wee hours,
Fair will doze off into their trance at a point, with their mind filled with pleasant dreams of limitless power.
ever gonna get their long rest buttons.
Okay.
And what do I go down to?
-3.
-3.
Yep.
So that's 4. So 3 more nights.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Mm. Sorry.
How dare you
Yeah.
apologize for Kitten? Whoa.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she kind of just jumped from the ground and clawed up my leg.
Oh no.
Okay, you're not going.
No, they're coming back.
She is being playful.
Yay.
The kitten's other mood.
Yeah.
Playful and asleep.
That
On
was
or off.
that was cute. D&D Beyond.
What happened?
Well, because I had spent 12 hit dice the previous day,
Mm-hmm.
you only regain half, so 9
Yeah.
on a long rest. So I have 3 hit dice still expended right now. But you get to pick which ones, like if you're multi-classed and you have different types of hit dice.
Yeah.
So I opened up the thing and D&D Beyond was like, yeah, all 3 of your fighter hit dice are expended, right? I was like, that's cute. Let's
Yeah.
change
No.
that around a
How
little
about
bit.
no?
Yeah.
Fair will recast their contingency
Okay.
with Vortex Warp on a verbal cue.
Okay.
And then for their daily extra scroll that I keep forgetting about now that I don't have to use it every day anymore for Magic Aura, they will store a hold person in that one for today.
Okay. Cool.
Fair.
Yes.
How did you sleep? I
Oh.
I thought I felt you tossing and turning at one point, which never happens with you.
Oh, Farzu had a question in the middle of the night, so I didn't want to disturb you, so I
Oh.
met him outside. I hope I didn't wake you, coming or going.
No, I was, yeah, a fairly light sleeper anyway. But oh,
Are you alright?
Yeah, couldn't be better. Just kind of anxious to get this last fight over with.
Yes.
This past week has taken quite a bit out of me.
Same. It's been a bunch of difficult fights, but it feels so good to win them.
It does. And it'll be comforting to show up to this summit with the fiends freshly defeated.
I have a feeling if the Lord of the Nine Hells is planning anything else, he'll certainly. This would be the time to try it. So I think we should still be vigilant.
Of course.
How many charges did the staff get back today? Just 'cause I'm curious. Because I
I'm
know
about to roll.
I pretty much dropped it.
Two charges back on my Astromancy Archive. Thank you for.
Yeah, I forgot to roll all the charge. Yeah.
Yeah, Wand of Sending was already at full.
I got 2 charges.
Okay, cool. Okay. Great. Y'all setting off to Calborn.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, do we have enough time for a short rest before we depart? So I can arcane recover my 6th level spell slot.
I
Sure.
would think while we're eating breakfast.
Okay.
Although I thought, isn't Arcane Recovery limited to 5th?
I thought it was
Or am
6th
I-
level or lower.
Depends
It
on
might be. I don't know. But
Yeah, none of the slots can be 6th. Oh, they can't be 6th level or higher. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, then never mind. I won't do that. Alas.
Okay.
Also down a 1st level.
All right. Off to Calborn.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Do we need to plane shift there, or can we travel by tree?
we've never been there,
Yeah.
so
Unfortunately, plane shift.
Okay. As far as you will cast the rope trick. He's gonna cast it at 3rd level, though.
I'll keep it gate, of course.
why?
Pack slot.
Pack slot.
Oh, makes sense.
And then expend a charge from the cube. And boom, pulled away. Plane shift like so many times before. Center of town? Center of the city? Main square? Sound like
Might
a
as
plan?
well. I don't think we know anything about what to expect.
Okay. Cool. Boom. Big,
Might as well make an entrance.
big, open square. Currently, because it's, mid morning. Decent bit of foot traffic. A
This morning is extremely mid.
something skibbity toilet. huge, at one end of this plaza that you guys teleport into, a huge temple, cathedral, really, to Pelor. Other kind of tall, like medieval structures. In terms of city structure and size, think like in architecture, think like Paris. So like overarching classical architecture. The buildings kind of loom over the streets. Very, very pleasant weather day too. Like it is perfect weather to just be out and walking around. You get a few interesting looks. A couple of the guards kind of on one end of the plaza kind of look you up and down. And just like keep looking forward and looking at other things. In that immediate instance, you probably get the recognition, like, you're probably not the first people to poof in here. They have something major going on tomorrow. So they're kind of on the lookout, but not to shut that down. And that's just in, like, the first kind of 6 seconds you guys are in this space.
Do we got any plans for today while we're here?
Killing a fiend.
Well, we're going to do that today, before the meeting.
That's
I
what
mean-
we'd hoped.
Do you want to do it tomorrow, right before the meeting? Because that sounds dangerous. To me,
What? Oh, I was just curious.
So, where do you imagine we might find a fiend around here?
Well, the
Where's
others were all in.
Where's the bougie part of the city where all the important people hang out?
All the other devils were in positions of power. All the better to manipulate nations into battles.
So, is there something like a castle or a tower or a government building? Or can we
This-
ask, like,
Yeah, I think you could easily ask a town guard.
take us to your leader?
Yeah.
This fiend is Zosmath.
Yes. This is the central district. You want the north district, and they'll kind of point. It's not north. It's like northwest. They just call themselves North District because they want to be self-important. It's the vibe you're kind of getting. It's over there. You've got to cross over the canal that runs through town. But there's like 3 different bridges in that direction. Any of them will take you there. I assume you're
Appreciate.
here for whatever's happening.
Appreciate your help. We get so disoriented when we teleport into a place. It's not our favorite way to travel.
What
It's not?
seems disorienting?
Well, disorientation is the easy part if you're lucky. One time, some wizard miscalculated and I ended up in the middle of the ocean. If you can believe it.
That sounds
Oh,
terrible.
you're bringing that up again. That was horrible.
Oh, well, at least
Almost drowned.
all. Well, Emrys seems to be quite on target.
Emrys saved all of our lives that day.
We've all saved each other's lives throughout this adventure so far.
And sometimes we haven't been successful.
That is true.
But also, it looks like attempts to kill us haven't been completely successful either. It hasn't stuck.
Not yet.
Because I used a 6th level spell slot already, I will use the 7th level slot to cast True Seeing
Okay.
for fiend detection purposes. Do we know? Let's see. We know the building where this is going to be held, right?
Yes.
Can we go there? Seems like a good place to start.
Yeah. Is it in the same district that we're going
yes,
to?
it is in the same district that you're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, security gets a little bit tighter, but you seem to match descriptions of people who are on some kind of list somewhere. So they wave you through, essentially like, we're used to this from DC street blockades.
Yeah.
Emrys,
Yes.
and I think Dietrich is just like having a moment of realization, and he really likes it. And he's like, "Are we important?"
Yes. But why would you not be? I've spent the last, I don't even know how long with you, getting into shenanigans and fuckery.
At
It
that point,
just-
Farzu would say exactly how long it's been. To the minute.
Thanks, Farzu. But
To
Oh,
test
you're welcome.
to test him, Fair's going to be like, "And how long since I joined you all?"
He'll do looks like he'll do calculations and he'll spit out that number 2.
so
Down to the
Farzu, then,
minute.
if we're
After-
gonna go mathematical like this, how much older have I gotten then?
He just looks at you. I bet knowing somewhat having an inkling what would have occurred becoming an archdruid. More or somewhat of an inkling. He'll just look at you. I'm not gonna answer that one.
Yeah, Emrys, you do seem to be aging even less quickly than a normal elf. Which is to say, not at all, and practically in reverse.
That's true.
It's just kind of. Dietrich kind of tears up a little bit. It's just so nice that after so many months of tomfoolery and shenanigans that we've somehow ended up important.
Yeah, I'm important enough that I have someone sort my mail for me.
And I didn't even have to talk my way in here.
Single tear runs down Dietrich's cheek.
And they didn't let me in because they thought I was someone else. They knew it was me. Sorry.
Remember
we
this
can
moment
go back
tomorrow
to
when
the
you're
old
sitting in
days.
that meeting, bored to tears.
We can always go back to the old ways, Dietrich. I mean, disguises tomorrow and shenanigans if you really wanted to.
That does sound like fun.
I
But-
do miss it sometimes.
I will say this fair. Did we turn him into an honest person?
No. Next question.
Somewhat honest.
No.
Mildly less dishonest.
I would say that, in fairness, I'm still a piece of shit, but perhaps I'm a piece of shit who has something to live for.
Oh, you're not a piece of shit.
You're too kind.
You're not a piece of shit, you're our piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're the piece of shit.
He's also been a dead piece of shit a few times.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
that,
gotten
that next
better.
roll is a DC 17.
But he's still standing, so he's our piece of shit for now. Well, your piece of shit, fair.
For as long as he'd like to be. But you are right, Dietrich. It is nice having direction, goals,
Just a-
and the power to achieve them.
just a little bit of clout.
Yes.
That's what I've been missing. I've had this idea in my head for so long that I'm Dietrich Balthazar, the feared pirate. And now it seems that maybe the world has finally caught up to my ambition.
Gotten
Maybe
them
these
to
people
notice.
are seeing me the way I've been seeing myself this whole time.
You guys are finishing this conversation. Somebody kind of like sheepishly approaches you all. You all are here for the negotiations.
Who's
We are.
asking?
Oh, I'm just a clerk. I'm one of the people that's going to be taking notes during the meetings.
Somebody takes notes for you. Oh, we have made the big time.
Yeah, there's like
It's so
there's
nice
like
to meet
8
you.
There's like 8 people taking meeting notes. Ooh, ooh,
Well,
ooh,
you're a
ooh,
lifesaver because I'm terrible at it.
ooh, ooh, ooh. I assume based off of what we were told in notes that you all are some of the people that helped get this together, and I believe one of you is representing Roguewater.
That would be me.
Great. We do want to and have been kind of talking to people before the meeting begins to kind of understand positions and where the different groups are coming from. So we have a couple people you can sit down to. I just saw you on the street, and I realized that you haven't been here yet. We can have that meeting now if you all want.
What's this person? What's the energy this person gives off? Nervous.
Yeah, nerves, energy. Kind of in a hurry. Realizing how important kind of like the next 24 hours is for everyone involved.
Not a demon in disguise.
Not according to Fair wouldn't see through it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as you would have
Uh,
looked at Fair and like,
Yeah, Fair is scrutinizing everyone who walks past.
So, how long would you say this meeting would take?
Yeah.
We do have another engagement. I'm just
I always forget. I'm asking a question real quick. Okay. They're under enchantment magic.
Hmm. I do think you should have them make an appointment with Dietrich for later. We have something else we need to take care of first.
It shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. It's just a simple list of like starting negotiating positions.
sorry you heard them. They keep me on a pretty tight schedule.
Oh, okay. You can.
I'm sure we can pencil you in for tomorrow morning, though, before the negotiations begin.
Yeah, we're just right in this building. There's like four, like half of us are in here doing that. The other half are getting the room ready. I think.
All right, and your clerk for whom?
Oh, I'm a clerk for the city state of Calborn. I was just assigned to
And
this meeting and task.
just remind me, because it's been so long and so many weeks of meetings with all sorts of heads of state. Your boss's name, the head of state of Calborn, is
Oh, I don't work for the king. I work for one of the members of the council here, who's council member Wheeler.
uh-huh.
I tell how powerful a spell he's under.
Make an Arcana check.
34.
Jesus.
And do I detect any other magic nearby?
You don't detect any other near magic within 30 feet of you. This is a pretty high level dominate person.
Okay.
Would you mind introducing us to Councilman Wheeler? Uh, we were told that the council was expecting our arrival. It would be nice to put some faces to names.
Yeah, certainly. It's literally in the same building. He's just upstairs in his office. If you guys want to follow me, we can.
Thank you very much.
Can Fair just sort of like try to confer to the others non-verbally that there's something up with this guy?
Make a performance check.
We didn't get the telepathic bond up, did we?
No.
If you kind of hint to Farzu, he probably would get it to put it up.
So how I will do this is it will be 30 minus people's passive perceptions.
Okay, yeah,
So-
I rolled a 6, so sorry guys.
Okay.
Ooh, my
Yeah.
passive perception is 23.
Yeah, it would have been a 7.
God
Well, can
damn it.
I add a I'll add a D4 with
Sure.
my
Sure.
astromancy.
Oh yeah.
Let me just double check. Can I do that with my astromancy archive? Yeah, it's an ability check.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
That's a
That-
2.
Okay,
So
cool. That also then gets Emerson. Yeah.
okay.
There is like signaling like this. You get the idea that this dude's under magic. As far as you,
Mhm.
everybody else in the party's being a little weird right now.
I think
Weirder than
Farzu
usual.
Yes.
I think Farzu would probably clue in at that point.
Something's going. You would clue in that something's
So-
going on, but you would have no idea what. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to bring up our lovely walkie-talkies.
I cast telepathic bonds.
Yeah.
Are you taking
And-
10 minutes to do that as a ritual, or are
Uh,
you casting it on the spot with verbal
telepathic-
components around somebody who's dominated? Like,
Can I
He
just
doesn't know they're dominated.
right, but like, I think I would probably
Grab him.
extend a hand and like put it over his mouth. Like, don't,
Yeah.
not now.
so you stop him from doing it
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
entirely? Okay.
Cool, cool, cool.
That's the thing. Above game, we missed our window to do it. Doing it now would tip them off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he leads you up like 4 flights of stairs and into in front of these double like mahogany doors you would expect a prominent councilman to have, kind of embellished with like decorative like brass doorknobs, like intricately carved ones. Kind of knocks on the door. Okay, you one second. Here. You don't hear anything, like any conversation on the other side of the door. And it kind of opens it. Yeah, he can see you.
Wait for the door to open all the way so I can get a look at this guy before coming inside.
Okay. It's 120 feet?
I think it's just everything I can see. 6th level. Oh, 120 feet, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you are definitely within 120 feet of this person and can see through this disguise.
Alright, definitely.
Multiple, like, a row of, like, 6 horns. Kind of beautifully come out. To make, like, a video game reference, very much like, Diablo from Diablo 3 with, like, almost like a crown of thorns and kind of that kind of shape under this disguise. Very like red and like plate, like natural plate armor almost under this disguise. So they're just kind of sitting at their desk with a quilt.
What's she doing here?
Boo.
Is fair giving the rest of us a signal of some kind that we worked out ahead of time?
Yeah, probably.
Chenga.
I think as soon as
Fair's got like daggers that they keep under their robes all the time, and I think they'll just sort of like brush the robes
Yeah.
aside to like reach for one of the daggers. And just
Fair.
sort of glance briefly at the others.
I think as soon as Fair gives the signal, could I immediately like vamp out my sword, kill the clerk,
Oh,
and shut the doors? Because the clerk's dominated. I don't want the clerk fucking with us.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point. They have 10 hit points.
Cool.
They're
I
a
killed
normal person. You just gut them.
They are now a dead normal
And-
person.
And here comes Arlen Specter.
Yeah. Great.
And I
As
will.
Keeper closes the doors.
Wait, hang
Fair,
on.
You will now
Actually, no,
notice from your detect magic,
Mhm.
the entire room is magical.
Okay.
There is extremely, it took you a second to see this, extremely thin, I'm talking like spider silk thread, thin lines of mithril in this entire room.
Okay. So he's got some manner of spell amplifier going on in here.
Yep. That's a shame. I quite liked Brian.
Oh, his name was Brian.
Yes.
Oh, I wish I could kill him twice now.
Let's see. What's the difficulty for what's the check to cast from a scroll for a spell I don't have on my spell list?
DC 12 plus the spell's level.
Okay. I'm gonna take out my scroll of silence and cast silence.
Okay. He'll counterspell it.
Try and shut down some magic right now.
He'll counterspell it.
Okay.
So, you've killed my brethren, and now you're here to make good on bringing peace to this world and ending.
No, we're here to kill you.
Kill our plans. I assume I'm included in those plans.
Your plans, yes, but also you specifically.
Great. Perfect. Sounds good.
I am sorry about Brian. The thing about killing him twice was a joke.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel slightly less terrible about what I'm about to do to you. So, who's going to make the first move?
Well, I already tried.
That's certainly true enough.
I'll just. How far is he from us right now?
About 30 feet to the desk.
I'll just Hexblades curse him and step forward.
Okay, cool.
Could I try something first?
Sure.
I'll try and dominate monster him.
What's the save on it?
DC 18. Will.
Wisdom?
I believe. Yeah. Sorry.
Pathfinder brain.
Yeah.
That's an 18 on the dot.
Astromancy Archive to subtract a D4.
Great. He will use one of his legendary resistances to save.
Okay.
Make an attack roll.
Me?
Dietrich, I thought you were
Okay.
going up and stabbing him.
No, I'm just
Oh.
going up and standing in the middle of the room, like, let's go.
Okay. And he will touch his desk, and all of the thread will light up around the entire room. As he will attempt to cast a spell using it.
Spell?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what he's targeting?
This entire room. Whatever he is casting is going to affect this entire room. Not just the usual components of this spell.
Do I... because I used the Astromancy Archive to get him to fail that roll. Do I have a chance to try and counter it?
Sure.
I feel like this is going to be that important. I'm going to cast Counterspell at 8th level.
Okay.
Since he's lighting all the things up. I feel like if there's one thing that Fair would notice, it's spider webs, and they're just like,
Yeah.
nope.
Spider Rose Sigma. He's going to burn his reaction to try and counterspell, but he is not going to do it. That's a natural 1 for a 6.
Yeah.
Boom, powers down. Oh, that's disappointing.
It was quite pretty.
I'm gonna have to try again. And I think we'll roll initiative next session.
Okay. Cool, I got 2 of his spell slots down, 3 of his spell slots down, and a legendary resistance. We haven't even rolled initiative yet.
Right?
Not bad.
No,
Although
not
I
bad
am
at
out
all.
of very high level spell slots. But you know
Works
what?
for me.
Yep. All
Yep.
right.
I got my Spectre.
You did get your
That might even last a round. We'll see.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna return a favor for somebody rated us the other night, because Kobold is currently streaming. We're gonna go head out there, and open up channel tab real quick, and we'll see you guys next Monday. I'll be back, of course, next Wednesday to figure out these shenanigans and see what happens next. And yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See y'all later.